Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NieR Replicant version. Lord knows I'm not reading that number. I am John Mugiwara Jam. We have achieved ending A. We now have to do the game again for ending B. Not the whole game, thankfully, just the second half. And apparently now you play as Kaine. So if I had to play this game again as the same character, I would not be up to doing this tonight, but nah, I'm down. Let's get going then. As much as I didn't want to stream earlier in the day today, I am much more willing to stream right now.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past.
Fuck, they dropped this right here.
My mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
So we don't have to see the whole introduction with Big Boy NieR. We just get the part where we play as Kaine. Yeah, because how can you start Route B without her if she's the main playable character? Kaine's dreams. Discrimination. Oh, good. This is not going to end well, is it? No, not more reading. No! The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a rainstorm. Or thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with the pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... Oh, pardon me. The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped from the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, spinning home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall around. Oh no. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came slithering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet, or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get a few more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she'd experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. Oh my god. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated and, if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak! Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong. Be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt... Oh, look, the little freak's gonna cry! What's wrong? Are you sad everyone hates you and wants you dead? Oh my god. Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carrying her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. Ew. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to run away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb up against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Dino grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves! As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak! I don't get you, freak! What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are! Oh, no! Oh, this just took a turn. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak! Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to the terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from the spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying! He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for a breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Now, he screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it, what are you doing? Quit whining, ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch, a big one, that thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight! Oh my... Wow. Wow! The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it on the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine as she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. They wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt to cross it. You get a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. With each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you, and if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. Yeah, that's Grandma kicks ass. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it had felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got at each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hands in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine had stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough, even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift past the weather vane and up into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Do I have to do all of this? Man. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother fled away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma, called Kaine. That you, Kaine? The old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close or I might take off your goddamn foot by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to the safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer a moment and then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm still doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you to run into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up the long pole with the wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her grandmother to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence at a good distance from the eyrie. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect it with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Ah, crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with the blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You'd better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kaine studied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that! Just stop, she cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying, just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn-out face told more than words could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit, but I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other, behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled down on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen to exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, Kaine said with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me, they seemed to say. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at the small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying with the assembled crowd. But no one came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He had clearly been sent there on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for medication. Ha! Barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked him out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, but they seemed to stare through her into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled, handing her the medicine. He reached for the sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter very much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think she was driven out of this town. The way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? I thought, Kaine suddenly. She's still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crowns from the apothecary's hands. Her grandmother's an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step. It was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. My God, how long does this go on for? When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding in a bit places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand collapsed around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked the grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma stood up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied with that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother with a voice that implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crowns from her pockets. After a brief explanation of the source, she informed her grandmother she was going to sketch her portrait. I needed that after all that reading. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Horseshit, said the grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crowns away and help with dinner. Excuse me. But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crowns, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crowns would, make drawing easier or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her grandmother's daughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain on her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in the chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, and then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strained smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the woman. I'll take this down when they roll me into my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned Kaine and dropped on the one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before, and it makes me want to go on so that someday you can feel the same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself into Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together in the form of a lifelong remembrance. She swore never to forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Oh my God, how many of these are there? Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. I've been at this for 23 minutes! Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood on the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you girl, it's a berry! Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kaine, and I think it's burnt or something, because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing it as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, alright. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from all the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Holy shit! Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Oh, so is that the berries from the Forest of Myth? that she likes now. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kind of looked up surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was going to check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What the hell for? Kind of stared at her grandmother that held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed of mostly cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sat like a boxer in the final rounds. Grandma, a dying cat could shoot through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. God damn it, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other... Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately, it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought. Instead of walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer, the flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're going to be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hands. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, and slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it's just the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she'd ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here and keep an eye on a old codger like me. You go and get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, temptation was too great. She spun on her rear heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman sitting in front of the ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she could only find a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested in the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed from the side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot on itself. No, oh God, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma! Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she'd ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark, not just fire. Can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her. She burst from the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions had confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet, and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending a small whirlwind spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. Alright, you bastards, she thought, as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. It's you or me. Let's go. The shade eyed Kaine with a bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and then back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building on her heart, Kaine glanced towards the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! Oh, I forgot I had a Facebook open still. Whoopsie. The sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she had raced across the yard towards the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance to more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot the trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing against the rocky earth. Stars danced around in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up, Bambi! Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped around toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might have well just been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to the earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire, one or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma! Hold on! Just a little longer! Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, her distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere in deep inside its core. Bastard! Laughing at us! She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt that she was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. Oh my god. It was clearly keeping her alive only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch around at her waist, she leapt out on that foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me! It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was lashed to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine! Kaine's vision blurred. She forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't. Best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. On one of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! No! I said run, goddammit! You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would forever stay unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade-clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she remembered the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of its fingers. But then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless shankle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side. Yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the Shade. The Shade shook off Kaine like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and the flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it! 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 Oh my god! Kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between the heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. Thank fucking God! That was just like 30 minutes of that shit. Oh my God.
The beast approaches. Oh, I know.
Oh, I thought I was playing as Kaine. Guess not.
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
My sword feels lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
No, not more. I was getting a break. I mean, I did get a break, but still. Gently, weakly, softly, the Shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stomping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shame beyond imagining, Kaine turned her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration she realized that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad oath. I'm just going to make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally going to die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into the smoke, only to be replaced by another more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced this piece of paper that stretched and sketched it quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, as real as life. Connie opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with the sharpened pincers. Stop! No, don't hurt that picture! Connie reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely in the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Connie turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha! My God. I look like that? Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Drowning deep in despair, Connie let her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Connie wanted to scream as the voice crawled on her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something? Or just go on your knees and start praying to heaven. Please, invisible man in the sky, save me, save me! Ha 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 ha! Connie finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. I'm a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Wow! Oh, God, you are the best! Connie glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feeling the hot, searing pain that it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Connie tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up. Ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stay on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. I now want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, Connie shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Ha 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 ha! Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept past her nose, and slowly oozed in the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Connie was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Oh, excuse me. Now give me that body. Come on, give me that body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Connie's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she regained her voice. Stop. Oh, what the hell, sunshine? We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that killed her and heard its mocking laughter, and to close her eyes and force the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Connie glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, sunshine. Excuse me. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Connie stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Connie took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it. Fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddy of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass, tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of a bone crunching on bone filled in the air. Ha 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 ha! Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed, whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me, we got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. It's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That fat little kid who keeps picking on you? That big old shade to just watch your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a goddamn good who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Oh my god. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me, we could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Ah, ha, 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 screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyrant. If you ever need me, I'll be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it! The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyrant. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Charon. I'm shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, and I'm going to take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, and then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creatures had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, but being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though I'd been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. And as night gradually lightened to a dawn and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world. No more.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live. You gotta come back to us.
Oh, hey.
So now I know why she wears a bandage on her left arm.
Neil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow. You grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time.
Yeah, so was all that reading. Oh my god. A good hour of this was spent on that.
Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Oh my god, if I have to read more.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Neil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one. We let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Well, fuck, now that line has a lot more meaning.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
So that means I'm never coming back to the village.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself. I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do? Wait, is that?
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know?
I'm practically the mascot of the series.
At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Really? After that backstory you made me sit through and read?
Come on. I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
Alright, so that was a new scene at least.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
So when do we get to play as Kaine?
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
Wait, is this the 15 Nightmares thing?
Say there. Can you not hear me?
Oh my god, it is. Hey, this is where we play as Pop in here.
Like a slack-jawed ninny.
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
I know that voice.
Sitting on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now. There's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Can I, like, leave and go back? Yeah, I'll do this another time. We do need to do this to get all the endings. Because it's basically like a dungeon gauntlet where you have to get the last 3 weapons in the game. I'm not going to do that right now. It is required for the 3rd ending, so we will tackle that eventually, just not now.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
It was a dream where they changed the look of me as a protagonist to try and appeal to the West, but it ended up failing.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
So maybe I only play as NieR when I'm in the village.
Hey.
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village, and that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
I'm headed there next. Oh, and Devila?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You don't need to apologize. Let Emil and Kaine know that we're sorry, alright?
All right.
Alright, so a lot of this is going to be the same. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be skipping a lot. I am going to keep my eyes open for anything new.
Popola?
Oh. Hello.
Look, I want to apologize for yesterday.
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
It's very kind of you to say so. Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that. You know about the lost shrine, right?
The temple where I was first discovered.
That's it. Well, it seems that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Oh, it was right under our pages the whole time.
But the bridge that leads there is unusable.
So, take a boat.
A boat?
Yes. The canal's finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected. What with the shades and all. I also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance. The ferryman will let you use it free of charge. That should make it easier for you to move from town to town.
Thanks, Popola. I feel like you've done so much for me. I'm really grateful. All right. I'll see you around.
And for the love of everything, be careful.
So as I understand it, to get all the endings, we have to play through this game, the second half of the game again, to get to the second ending, and then a third time to get to the next ending, and then at that third time, save right before the final boss. Then there's a choice at the end, and you choose choice A, you get ending C. You choose, and then go back to your original save, beat the final boss, and then choose choice B. That's ending D, and then ending E happens, and you play the whole game up to a certain point, and then everything changes.
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
Look, as long as I don't have to do all that... If that reading is in the ending C again, oh, holy shit, I'm skipping that.
Hey, look who it is.
That red pack.
Hey.
Sure, apparently I...
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry, not interested. This is the same shit. I think I'm gonna leave the regular cutscenes alone, but like the back and forth dialogue, skipping.
The Lost Shrine's up ahead. Just
As well.
Let us make haste.
So we probably just have to get those keys again. Wait, this is new. So yeah, okay, so this is just like NieR Automata, where new stuff is sprinkled throughout. Okay, so I'm wrong. This title is misleading. You cannot play as Kaine until you get to the last ending. So we're playing as NieR again for a while.
Ain't you excited, sunshine? We finally get to bathe in blood.
Tyran's talking.
To me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
Oh yeah, there's some differences in here.
This is all too easy.
I never finished the Fisherman's Gambit, huh?
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety shades.
Their bodies aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
Shit, now that I know the shades are humans, this gets a lot darker. Oh my god! Really? Not so hot now, are you?
Kaine, Emil, look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun.
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
Emil,
You've got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kaine. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast.
Emil, that's enough. I've got a fucking image to maintain.
We seem to be surrounded by a mob of helpless puppies.
Just kick him aside.
What's going on? There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light. Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying.
Foolish creatures. You cannot hope to best me. Have you felled the beast?
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Hey there, sunshine. You ain't feeling bad this week, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You gotta lust for blood. Embrace the slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kaine?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Kaine!
Oh, you're kidding me.
Kaine!
Fuck, that's a lot sadder in context now that I
You
know.
all right? Kaine!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
No! Kaine!
What is happening?
It's all over for you, sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine! It's Kaine's shade!
With no other choice, we must strike it down.
Kaine! Come back!
Oh dear.
No more reading.
Kaine! Kaine!
Kaine!
I couldn't hold it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend, and I need you. So don't you dare leave me.
All right. Stop crying. And thanks. I'm all right.
Over there. And what is this,
Beats me. It's got some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
How remarkably useless of you. Well, let's go ask Popola.
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this. I wrote down all the words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given that you found it in the Lost Shrine, the words must mean something. There are spaces here for 4 other fragments as well. Sacrifice, the Law of Robotics, the Memory Tree, Loyal Cerberus. The Law of Robotics probably refers to the Junk Heap. And the Memory Tree might be the Forest of Myth. But as for Sacrifice and Loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem. If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find, right?
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
They're just shades. Besides, it's the only way to reach the Shadow Lord.
It's a dangerous task.
Yeah, well, Yona's in even more danger.
But how can you even be sure that she's...
Because she is.
Right? The junk heap in the Forest of Myth, yeah? I'm on my way.
Please be careful. Oh, and listen. About Kaine and Emil. The villagers know how much they've sacrificed, and they're thankful. It's just... they're scared, you know? People can't change overnight. I'll hurry them along the best I can. But can you please give them a little more time?
I'll try.
Let's get the Forest of Myth out of the way.
Find something in the Forest of Myth.
You will forgive me if I seem less than enthusiastic about such a trip.
I wonder, do I still have all my materials and everything? And all my money? Yeah, I do. I'm not reading those again. We're skipping.
The home of that blasted dream.
Yeah.
Truly a nightmare I hope never to experience again.
I hear you.
Oh, hello. How are things? You want to know if anything unusual is happening? Well, I have been... It's a legend.
Did you investigate? And
Well, I don't know.
Weird.
The key anyway, and
We're skipping these. Oh, you can just hold it.
unusual activity, but I...
Wait, I heard the voice this time.
Why do we seem to encounter nothing but odd people lately?
You should talk, Vice.
As if Grimoire Vice is...
Hang on.
Is the dark entity that governs all memories. May the words form themselves to your liking.
Does that mean it'll tell us what we want to know? That'd be nice.
You let...
Come on.
If you think I'm reading these again, you're wrong.
Come on.
This blue. What?
Come on. Come on.
So you mean I have to listen to that whole thing?
You let it. Come on.
Alright, so there's a sentence I have to pay attention for. Green.
What in the... I never realized shades were capable of rational thought.
I don't care if they can tap dance and play the fiddle. I just want to kill him without all this hassle.
With the tree defeated, we no longer have to worry about being buried in its world of letters. Unless, of course, time itself begins to rewind.
Alright, that's 2. Alright, junk heap next.
Popola said we might be able to find a key fragment in the junk heap.
Perhaps we can find a clue at Two Brothers' weaponry.
Where'd they go? Get him! Don't let him escape!
Oh, this is difficult to watch.
Who are you? Military defense robot, Key 33. You are an intruder. You must be eliminated. Error. There is something leaking from your eyes. What is crying? Who is Mom? My creator is also dead. He perished hundreds of years ago. "874 years, 10 months, 14 days, 4 hours, and 43 minutes. 44 minutes. I am incapable of being lonely, or missing others, or crying. You will die. Why will they kill you? I will not permit the humans to kill Khalil. Military defense robot P-33 will protect you. P-33 is charged with defending others. P-33 will defend Khalil.
I'm gonna call you Beepy.
Man, there's gotta be tons of machinery here.
Yeah, but I don't know how much we can actually use.
Oh, wow. Check this out. It looks brand new.
Hey, be careful, all right? This place is dangerous.
I'll be fine.
Oh, no!
Huh?
Look out!
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Oh shit.
Jacob! Oh god. This can't be happening! Jacob! Jacob! No!
The noise of the intruders caused the structure to fail. They should have proceeded with more caution. One intruder has perished.
Oh, and then the other one goes on to hate P-33.
The junk heap. Perhaps we should speak to the brothers. They might know something about this.
Oh, hey there. It's been a while.
You're the little one, aren't you? You've grown up.
How fares your brother?
My brother's been dead for 4 years.
Oh, I see. Please.
It's okay.
I need to...
What is it?
You heard any rumors about Shade? Not the little ones.
No, I haven't heard about anything like that. But I haven't really been listening. Just rip.
Never mind that.
Yeah.
I recently I thought you...
Don't we already...
Yeah, it's pretty...
Can you...
I can repair...
If you'll fix it.
I'm gonna need only the real big... Also, here... I'm gonna... Only the real...
You got...
By the... What can I help you with? Come back. I'm only the... By the... What can I help you with? Come back. I'm gonna... Only the real...
You got...
By the... What can I help you with? Come back. I'm only the... You got... What can I help you with? Come... I'm gonna... Only the... By the... What can I help you with?
Well, I've upgraded some weapons, so which of these would be better for me? The Vile Axe. I don't see myself finishing Route B tonight. I'll probably just work on getting those side quests done in between streams.
It's a shame about the older lad. Was but a child.
Sounds like you went into a dangerous area for the sake of the business.
The elder brother postponed his joy for the sake of his sibling. Do you think he was ever truly happy?
Just making his little brother happy would have been enough. That's what being an older brother is like.
Wow, I zoned out for a moment there, guys. That's how lost in thought I am with this. I'm just getting this done. Whew. Well, not going that way. Hey, I got some titanium alloy. Awesome. Titanium alloy, I meant to say. Law Robotics, Law Cerberus, and Sacrifice are my next ones. Oh, the Sacrifice one's the one in the area. Oh, that's gonna suck. Wonder if I'd be able to get all the key fragments tonight, because I remember there was the wedding last time. And then the sacrifice is though where you just go to the area and you fight this big old monster. Oh, come on. Don't tell me I lost the recording. Not this shit again. I hate when this happens. Come on, Windows Explorer, open up. Yeah, I probably ran out of disk space, didn't I? Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna mess with some settings. How do I change where I save videos? Oh, recording path. Oh, I can't change it now because I'm still streaming. All right. Let's just get this done. I'll just make another recording for just this last half hour. And from here on out, I'm changing where I save my videos. I should not be saving these to my my hard disk because that's getting full. B2 is where the yeah, B2 is that basement where the block off is. Oh, nope, that's B1 actually.
large seagoing vessel that carries freight and passengers over bodies of water. You have taught me much, Khalil. You have helped to expand my vocabulary. You have instructed me in the ways of the outside world. Because we are friends.
That's gonna be real sad when I murder the both of them.
That's some pretty impressive stuff you found. I'll start upgrading your weapon right away. And since you did me a favor... Well, this has got no sense in you waiting. That would... No sense. That would... By the way, what can I help you with? Come back soon.
It appears we have some free time on our hands.
Maybe Popola's found some information about the Shadow Lord. Let's drop by the village.
Very well.
Oh my god, go down NieR.
Learned anything new about the Shadow Lord's key, Popola?
You know, I was just going to talk to you about that. You remember the area?
Let it
Not. I just got this.
Sacrifice? Isn't that the name of one of the key fragments?
That's right.
You're...
I'm afraid.
And now they've not only opened trade.
I agree.
You're overthinking. I won't get their shades then.
Well, try speak.
Pretty airy, huh?
What a soul-crushing place.
Yeah. We may as well go and do that.
I cannot fathom that village setting up a mercantile. They must have truly opened their minds.
Yeah, I have my doubts.
Aren't you glad to be going back home, Kaine?
Home? That place is a shithole.
Ooh, the village. It's home to so many terrible little memories, isn't it, Kaine?
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
We do not desire.
We do not desire needless conflict.
If we can continue to live with humans, then we can continue to live peacefully.
But that young man will come.
Yes, the young man will come.
He will kill us all. Women and children included.
What should we do? What can we do?
Well, it's time to sacrifice these people again.
Hello? We came to ask about the letter you sent.
Our days are numbered.
As cheerful as ever.
You're the one who wrote the letter, right?
It may be faster. Let us ask around.
This village is finished.
I'm scared.
The shades of...
You.
Come back anytime.
My weapons. Thanks.
Why not fill your... I hope you... Welcome.
I had just noticed I saw a weapon there I did not buy.
Come back soon, all right?
What? So you know about the letter?
Which is it, man?
Oh, and if I may ask, are you friends of Kaine?
You could say that.
Ah, I've heard the rumors. Here to hunt shades, are you?
Indeed. Our aim is to defeat every last one.
Every last one? Everyone? Everyone.
Vice!
Beware, this man is a shade.
It's a trap!
I figured as much.
You guys sure are taking your goddamn time.
1,000 apologies. We were distracted by the local welcoming party.
Want some help?
A carnival of murder? I love it. Yeah.
Kaine, the villagers are possessed.
But not all of them. Some are still human, so be careful.
I think the shades are more human than human.
This village's history.
Why did you even come here?
Get out of here! No way! I'm not going to abandon my own sister!
Kaine, what's going on?
Don't be fooled by this lady. She's a shade.
No! No! You people are the monsters here!
Stay back, kid. Your sister is one of them now.
I don't care what she is! She's my sister, and I love her.
Kaine!
Stop it! Don't hurt my sister!
Wordsmith.
What madness. These people are behaving as if we are the villains.
Kaine!
Kill them! Kill them now!
No! You've got to stop this!
Villagers are under attack over there.
Go away. I can't deal with it. Just leave me alone. I can't take this anymore.
What could those black swirls be? My pages. Is this beast a shade as well?
That thing sucked up the villagers.
No! If we keep this up, we're gonna kill them all! We can't let that happen!
I feel something from within the creature.
Is this the combined power of all those shades?
It will take more than a barrage of magic to stop us. The first to waver is the first to die. I sense magic coming from the center of that eye.
Wait! I think those are actual people!
Hold nothing back. Those are shades. The surrounding tentacles appear to deflect magic. Now, focus your magic on the beast's center.
Look out! Something's coming!
Its weak point is located around the back. Try attacking it from above.
I'll try to pin it down!
Emil!
Emil!
I'll keep it busy! You should be able to attack! From behind! Go around and get it! Please, hurry!
Emil can handle this. We must circle behind the creature at once. Move closer. You cannot harm it from below. Move closer. You cannot harm it from below.
I get it, Weiss.
Are you there yet?
It is escaping to the inner level.
I'm coming! Gotta catch my breath.
Careful, Emil. Won't help anyone if we lose you here. God damn it!
beat the hell out of that thing. How can it still move?
Its combined powers are beyond even my greatest suspicion.
Come on! Help me take it out!
I'm on it.
A lot more grim when you really think about it. Now that you know it, now that we know what we know.
Emil, wait.
Emil!
He's gone. His instincts have taken hold. The ultimate weapon is being deployed.
Ah, fuck. This ain't good, Sunshine.
Ending on this horrid side again. Uncontrollable magic. I have to protect the people I love. That was my only thought as I unleashed a magic powerful enough to destroy not only the Shade, but everyone else as well. All of them. So many innocent lives. Destroy, eviscerate, crush, kill. These are the dark impulses that override all other thoughts. As a being that was created to be a magical weapon, these are my instincts. Or maybe it's better to call them our instincts. Emil's dream ramp. Oh, come on. If I knew this was coming, I wouldn't have, man. A klaxon sounds deep from within the bowels of the laboratory. Thick metal shutters drop down, sealing off the room with a series of dull metal thuds. Abort the experiment. Number 6 out of control. Everyone get out of here now. Get out of here now. The researcher's words abruptly cut off as a massive hand materializes out of the gloom and lifts him high into the air. The researcher begins to scream. He screams and screams, the sounds echoing off the walls of the laboratory until the hand squeezes down, covering the room in a deep crimson hue. The rest of his colleagues stand in silence, mouths open, unable to process what they've just seen. Then a female scientist takes a step back and lets fly with a heartbreaking wail. But this is a terrible mistake, for the sound of her cry suddenly brings forth a monster in all of its terrible glory. Its body is a bloated corpse, its head a grinning skull, and it is massive, many times the size of a human. The head lolls from side to side as it tromps about the room on all fours, bringing to mind the wild maneuverings of some wretched, starving beast. This creature, this thing, is experimental weapon number 6, also known as Halua. No! Oh no, please stop! Oh god, save me! Save me! I don't want to die! One by one, the maddened cries of the researchers are silenced. If number 6 understands their petitions, it pays them no heed. Instead of continuing its rampage of destruction and slaughter with a focus that borders on obsession. After an eternity, the screaming stops, the alarms fall silent, and only then does the creature make a sound howling out with an unfathomable roar that echoes up and down the empty halls of the blood-soaked laboratory. It's a sound that curses those who would dare bring such evil to the world, and yet one that also seems to be pleading for help. Two sets of footsteps echo in an otherwise silent corridor in the first level of the laboratory. One set belongs to a young boy, his eyes blindfolded and his hands restrained. The other belongs to a severe man in a long white coat. A severe man! The man drags the boy along by means of a long chain attached to a set of shackles on his wrists. Rubble is scattered here and there across the floor of the corridor, making the journey an exceedingly difficult one for a boy who cannot see. Excuse me, could you please walk a bit slower, sir? I'm not used to being blindfolded and... Rather than stopping, the man only increases his pace, causing the boy to stumble and attempt to keep up. This last humiliation proves too much, and the boy finds himself unable to arrest his fall. Without the ability to brace himself, he topples to the floor, smashing his head on a pile of debris and causing a trickle of blood to worm its way down his pale, frightened face. Agonized by the pain, the boy inadvertently opens his eyes, causing the falling drops of blood to emit a strange, cackling sound before transforming into tiny white rocks. "Close your damn eyes!" roars the man. "Yes, sir," stammers the boy as he slams his lid shut. He hadn't realized the blindfold had slipped off during the fall, but now he keeps his eyes squeezed shut so tightly that sparkles appear against the black of his vision. The boy is Emil, also known as Number 7. He has a magical weapon whose eyes are capable of turning into stone anything that falls under their gaze. His eyes. "Don't look at me," barks the man. "Never look at me!" "I'm sorry, sir. I'm looking at the ground now, so if you just hand me the blood..." Instead of waiting for him to finish, the man extends one foot and presses Emil's face to the floor with a heavy black boot. "Sir, stop! You're hurting me!" "I told you to keep your eyes and your mouth shut, so do it!" The man knows this boy. This weapon could wipe him out with a single glance, and subduing him in this way gives him a sense of relief. After making certain the boy is sufficiently cowed, the man leans down, retrieves the blindfold, and knots it tightly around the boy's quivering head. "Right then, on your feet. Let's move." Emil staggers to his feet, trying to ignore the red liquid oozing down his face. The blood doesn't matter. The pain doesn't matter. All that matters is the finishing the job they set out for him to do. The second level of that laboratory is even worse shaped than the first. The environs are littered with rubble and rock, making the thought of a decent foothold laughable. When the man's eyes linger on a section of rubble stained a deep red, he has a sudden change of warm, gooey red brownie slathered in strawberry sauce. His stomach lurches at the thought, but when he attempts to avert his eyes, they land on the remains of a human being rendered to what could only be described as paste. The man blinks. His mind goes strangely blank before attempting to determine exactly how many humans had to be sacrificed to create the scattered piles of flesh around him. After a moment, his thoughts simply cease altogether, as if his mind realizes that trying to put such a thing into form is folly. "You can go the rest of the way on your own," says the man in the voice much weaker than he wishes to be. "I mean, what does it matter? You're not even human. You're a monster!" With this, the man spins around and dashes back down the hall. A helpless Emil simply listens as the footsteps of his erstwhile captor fade into the distance. Emil finds himself alone in the room with the stench of death and blood. For a moment, he considers opening his eyes, but the thought of the horrors that await him quickly squashes this plan. Instead, he stands still and listens intently. Eventually, a far-off sound reaches his ears. That's the howl I heard before. Emil resumes walking, using the sound of the distant voice to guide him, almost as if it was calling him home. By the time Emil reaches the third level, he's moving on memory as much as sound. His hands and face are covered in fresh wounds from numerous falls, but every time he thinks he's about giving up, his mind returns to his sister. We studied together. We ate cookies together. We cried together. We laughed together. And sometimes I was the only one who got yelled at. That's why I was never lonely. Our being together allowed me to stay strong. For Emil, his sister was all he had to live for. So holding that feeling close to his chest, he presses on, one slow step after the other. Finally, Emil finds himself drawing close to a certain experimental chamber in the deepest part of the laboratory. The Hal is very close now. As he touches the switch that controls the door, he thinks about his mission. Number 6 is the ultimate weapon. She is his sister, and he must turn her to stone. The door slowly opens, revealing the massive interior of the experimentation chamber. After a few steps, Emil removes his blindfold and slowly opens his eyes. His sister lurks before him, but she looks nothing like the girl he once knew. Instead, he sees a savage beast crawling on all fours through the shredded remains of the researchers. As the thing that had been his sister stops and tilts his head in Emil's direction, he focuses his gaze on it. A series of soft crunching sounds emerge from the creature as his magic does its terrible work. First the fingers, then the hands, arms, legs, head. What little color the beast once possessed fades to a dull, ashen gray. And yet, somehow, it summons what strength remains and pulls itself towards Emil one slow, lumbering effort at a time. Wailing, the massive monstrosity closes in. Is she worried about me? Or is she coming to kill me? Emil feels prepared to accept either outcome. After all, this was his older sister, the person he loved more than anyone else in the world. Halua, The moment Emil speaks, number 6 comes to a sudden halt. Silence descends on the chamber as the siblings stare at each other. I'm sorry, Halawa, but everyone says you're too powerful. They say it's too dangerous unless I steal you away. I'm sorry. As Emil watches her body begin to turn to stone once more, number 6 simply waits in utter, perfect silence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The moment number 6's petrification is complete, her memories flood into Emil's mind. The two of them huddling together in the cold, all alone in the world with no one to protect them. All she wanted was to save her little brother. And yet, it was the little brother who, in a sense, saved her. The moment the petrification is complete, Emil sinks to his knees. A frozen sister and a little brother racked with sin. Alone in this cold cage, the two of them weep a single silent voice. It was our combined power that destroyed the Eyrie. Whole existences, entire lives, even their memories. We took it all. We took everything. My sweet, gentle sister turned into a monster, and the same thing will happen to me now that I have her power. If my instincts as a weapon went out and destroyed me in the process, if that power ends up hurting someone I love,
What have I done? I killed innocent people. I killed them all.
You saved us. If it wasn't for you, we'd all be dead. We owe you.
But
It's all right. Really. Don't look back.
Sacrifice key fragment.
We had best be off.
Yeah.
That never gets easier to watch. And Emil's backstory along with that makes it even harder.
Let's see if the junk heap kid sent us a letter.
I fear the next card.
You have a letter, it would seem. Personal request,
He's done a lot for us. We should see what he wants. Off to the junk heap, then.
Well, that's gonna have to wait for next stream. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm not gonna give a big outro this time. I'm really tired, and I got work tomorrow morning as well. Mugiwara Jam is my socials, all one word. Underscore for underscore in between Mugiwara Jam for the other ones. And if you like my gaming content, also feel free to check out Super Bonus Round, my Let's Play channel that I do with my friends. We're currently going through Yakuza 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, Bug Snacks, and down the pipeline we've got Super Mario 3D World, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Super Mario Party, and we are now beginning the process of recording some Halloween playthroughs, starting with the Resident Evil 2 remake. I've begun the Claire playthrough with Jad Peanut, and with Rich, Rainbow's 767, I'll be doing the Leon run, along with some other surprise ideas. Alright, thank you all so much for joining. I hope you have a great rest of your night or day, depending on when we're watching this. And I will probably see you maybe on Monday. Monday might be a bit of a stretch, but Tuesday or Wednesday for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then whatever's after that, I'm going to do another one of these. Depending on how long the next couple endings of this takes, we only have a couple more streams of this left. I was hoping to be done with this in time for the summer so that I could do Tales of Berseria before Arise comes out, but that's not going to happen. But this will surely get done before we do finish Xenoblade. I'm going to hopefully try for a longer Xenoblade stream next time I stream that, because my first two were very short. I want to try and make some more progress next time. Alright, and in between this, I'm going to go and get those weapons and get those last side quests done, at least the ones that will get me trophies, and I'm going to just call it here. Alright, thank you guys, have a good night, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.